Hey guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. So all this time, alam mo ko na in demand lagi, no, priority kunin ng Canada ang mga taong nasa construction work. Okay. Pero ngayon nagulat ako dito sa article na shinare ng ating guest. Kasi in this article that we're gonna talk about, sinasabi ng ilang mga members ng industry players rather in the construction sector na hindi daw swak yung tinatanggap na construction workers ng Canada sa pangangailangan nila dito. Now, why is this important? It's because, alam niyo naman, merong mandate ngayon, or rather may plano ngayon, ano ba to? Mali ang shinare ko. Meron pong plano ngayon ang gobyerno na mag-build ng millions of houses by 2030 as part of its solution to the housing crisis, of course. So, ayan, no. Thank you again and again and again, immigration lawyer Lou Dangzalan. Ayan. Tama ba yung pag-explain ko, Lu? No? Si Lu po kasi actually ang nag-share sa akin ng article na ito, which of course is, tama naman pag-usapan, is very relevant and interesting, no?
Mm-hmm.
So medyo na-confused nga ako, Lu. Sabi ko, bakit? Akala ko ba kumukuha ng mga construction workers ang Canada? And yet, the people quoted in this article are saying, hindi tama yung kinukuhang mga tao.
Right. If you look at the article, maybe nanggit silang isang occupation dyan na interesting, yung tile layers. Tile layering, I think.
Yan. O, ito sabihin.
Tile setters, diba?
Yeah.
Window and door installers.
The specific types of jobs that construction companies are lacking are typically referred to as unskilled labor. Yan ang kailangan nila. For example, framers, tile setters, window and door installers, where skills are learned on the job and do not require a certificate, degree, or apprenticeship. So,
Correct.
wow, unskilled laborers ang gusto nila.
I mean, I'm gonna show you something as well.
Go, sige.
Tignan natin tong category-based, diba? Alam naman natin yan, diba?
Oo,
so yung
naisip
category-based, niisip natin, ito yung mga construction jobs. Pero tandaan natin yung sinabi mo kanina na we're talking about like floor installers, tile installers. Wala siya dito actually.
Tile setters, ayan. Window and door installers, nandyan
wala rin sila dito. Tama naman yung sinasabi ng article na may mga certain occupations in the construction trade na hindi siya tier 0, 1, 2, or 3. Kung hindi papasok sila sa tier 4 or 5 na hindi nga kailangan ng certification. Kasi kung titignan mo to, marami dito sa mga occupation dito sa listahan na to, like electrical mechanic or bricklayers. A lot of these need certification or some form of apprenticeship. Whereas yung tile setter, typically, kailangan lang ng on-the-job training. Diba? Ito-train ka na lang dun sa trabaho mismo. Whereas itong mga cabinet makers, mga carpenters, kailangan dumaan ka sa rigorous apprenticeship programs na sinaset ng jurisdiction kung nasan ka man, diba? So, ito yung one of the fundamental weaknesses of express entry na actually, may room naman sila to fix that. Kasi ini-insist nila na dapat tier 0, 1, 2, 3 lang dapat to. So, skilled and above lang. Diba? Pero in theory, pwede nilang i-open yung certain occupations under tier 4 for this. Yeah. Ang ginawa
especially
nila,
for this specific sector, Lu, no? Na kailangan nila because of the housing crisis, right?
True. And housing crisis, and then on top of it, both the major political parties in this election run, ang kampanya nila is i-address nilang housing supply, diba? So, paano mo i-address ng housing supply kung wala ka naman tradespeople na kailangan nga daw, according to the industry leaders themselves, na may shortage sa loob mismo ng Canada, diba? So, hindi natin ma-i-divorce yung issue ng mismatch ng immigration programs when it comes to construction and trades dito sa housing plans na ginagawa ng mga government. So hopefully aware naman sila. And I think there are smart people in both parties naman na nare-realize din nila. And nakikinig din naman yung mga yan sa mga stakeholders na, teka, wala tayong tile setter. So paano yan? So hopefully meron silang gawin about that. There were programs in the past. For example, yung let's just call it for what it is, yung basically yung amnesty for out-of-status construction
Yes.
workers in the GTA. It was a very successful program to the point na actually nagko-call for extension nga yung yung mga nasa sektor. And magtatanong ka sa sarili mo, bakit kailangan nila ng extension? Because not only was it successful, kasi talagang tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung skills gap, di ba? Yung human resource gap pagdating dito. So, ang tanong ko dito, paano nila gagawin ito? Gagawa ba na naman sila ng pilot program na mag-uunahan na naman ba mga tao? Or baka naman pwede naman nilang i-open na lang itong express entry to perhaps certain tier 4 and tier 5 jobs. Kasi technically, the system should be able to handle this. In fact, nung minister pa si Marco Mendicino ng immigration around 2000, at the onset of the pandemic, one of the things na sinuggest nga namin sa kanila noon through the Canadian Bar Association was to think about including mga not home care workers but mga orderlies, yung mga nagtatrabaho as attendants sa mga long-term care facilities, for example. Kasi dati yung mga ibang positions na ito, hindi naman to tier 3 eh. Yung classification noon is 0 A, B, C, D. Ano siya? C. And hindi sufficient ang C. Ito yung equivalent ng tier 4, di ba? So, ang suggestion namin, baka naman pwede niyong buksan yung ibang occupations to tier 3 or NOC at the time. But instead, noong 2021, nag-kick in yung bagong NOC system, di ba? At nakita natin si orderly na promote from NOC to tier 3. So it's one of the ways, pero I think there's enough nimbleness naman sa express entry system na para hindi na masyadong disruptive. Pwede nila ipasok certain occupations.
Oo nga. Ang isang concern kasi nitong in-interview ng article is, lalo na in the coming years, more and more people from the construction work are going to retire. So, ang tanong ko dyan, Lolo, hindi kaya, won't locals, yung mga matagal lang dito, frown upon the idea of having to hire foreign workers for unskilled labor work? Eto na naman sila sabihin nila, ano ba yan? Pati ba naman yan, i-outsource pa natin sa immigrants? That's a common sentiment. Yeah.
Right. I mean, true enough, the political winds are blowing in that direction right now. Pero at some point, the immigration numbers will stabilize. Nakita naman natin yan sa immigration levels plan for 2025 up to 2027. Talagang may tapering down ng new permanent residents at meron na rin tayong levels plan for temporary residents. So at some point, it will taper and it will stabilize. At pag nag-stabilize ito, ang tanong dito, how many Canadians are willing to pick those strawberries, those raspberries, work these tier 4 and tier 5 jobs? Traditionally talaga itong mga positions na to, occupy ng, let's just face it, temporary foreign workers. The question is, how long do we want them to stay? Do we want them to stay permanently or do we want them to stay, saglit lang talaga? So, at some point, the government of the day, us as a country, will have to come face to face with that question and ask ourselves, ano ba yung priorities natin? It's a policy choice and a policy decision.
Okay. So, Lou, what do you say to those who might want to take advantage of this, ng kakulangan ng unskilled laborers? Let's say, mga nasa Pilipinas pa. Nagpaplano pa lang naman, parang dream ko makapunta ng Canada. Is there anything that they can do at this point to prepare themselves?
At this point, prepare yourselves by having your credentials ready, for sure. May mga certification naman na nakukuha sa Pilipinas, for example, through TESDA to actually, credentialize your actual, skills na, di ba, in your back pocket. Pangalawang punto, wag tayong, nagmamadali sa paghanap ng program dahil hanggat hindi lumalabas yung programa, walang programa na pupunta dun sa pangatlong punto ko, wag basta-bastang maniniwala kung sa kani-kanino na nagbebenta. Kasi actually, mayroong nangyaring scam. Sadly, I think yung nagpasimunot pa neto, yung promotor pa neto nung time na yun, kababayan pa natin.
Nako po.
Na meron daw I'm sure na share ko sa yung article na to na meron supposedly program na ilo-launch ang government kasi merong policy discussions about it, nasa news. So ginamit itong marketing ploy para mag-attract ng client, ng mga kliyente.
Nako
Supposedly lalabas daw yung program. Hindi naman lumabas yung programa. So yun yung napag-usapan na natin before, di ba? Hanggat hindi lumalabas yung program, hindi totoo ang program.
Okay. O guys, kasi stress lang namin hindi pa sa ngayon walang unskilled workers
Wala pa
pathway.
po.
We're just talking about that article wherein, again, industry players are saying na baka dapat nga i-adjust yung kinukuhang construction workers. Because if not, ito yung highlight ko lang, sabi dito, if these issues aren't addressed, we're going to deal with problems like rising costs on construction projects and delays in construction projects, which as we know, naku po, Canada can't afford to delay yung pag-build ng houses any longer, sa totoo lang. Diba?
Sobrang kulang sa supply.
Yeah. Okay. Lu, thank you. Ay, by the way, I just remembered, yung undocumented construction workers, I think diba they recently announced that they will be opening it again. I-regularize nila yung construction.
Yes. It was so successful to the point na talagang na-recognize nila kasi magiging sobrang disruptive kapag umalis itong mga to. Let's face it, marami sa kanila nagtatrabaho under the table, diba? In the black. If you remove that, I'm sure there have been studies na ginawa ng government to come to this decision. If you remove them from Canada, if you remove them from the workforce, imagine kung ilang mga construction projects ang mga magsa-stand still, diba? Imagine mo lang. So, saan na kapag ka ganon? Last point siguro, Ina, na pwede natin i-dribble dito is, ano kaya magiging interface netong potential new frontier ng low-skilled and trades-related occupations papunta dun sa oversupply ng temporary residents in Canada. And let's face it, madaming mga applicants from Canada, or rather, mga temporary residents from Canada whose work permits will no longer be renewable. I'm thinking of like PGWP holders, for example. Nagkakaroon kaya ng opportunities for them in potentially these new bright spots. So we have to stay tuned.
Yeah, totoo. Naku po, ang dami pa pwede mangyari, guys. I know, especially after the elections, malapit-lapit na, ilang linggo na lang, no? Dami na naman nating pwedeng pag-usapan pagkatapos nun, Lu.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Okay, guys, so we're keeping this episode short. But yeah, thank you again, Lu. I am so appreciative of you being always there for us. Maraming salamat. So that's it for this episode, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!